Hey guys, PayDroV here, new video. So in this video, I actually want to talk about the fall of the UK. And we see the programming with America and America falling. Now we see this being a dominoes effect. And I first saw this with Australia because Australia is now a country which is saying that they are the first ones to beat COVID by shutting it out. And this is actually a reversal because they got their citizens, their population to comply, and that is what they're trying to achieve. And it's funny too because I was seeing this programming with Australia, and then I see a headline that mentioned Australia, and then they mentioned Florida. I was thinking, why would they mix Australia and Florida in the same headline article? What would they have anything to do with each other? So I kept seeing this programming and I was seeing the downfall of Florida. The same with Texas. You see my last video, I was breaking it down, and I'm also seeing more programming, and I'm going to touch on that in just a minute. Let me actually break down this programming regarding the UK. So I'm going to go through some headlines with you guys. And this first one says Biden's Afghanistan mess may be worse than Britain's infamous retreat. And I was also seeing another headline that says America has turned its back on Britain and its allies. Another headline says here a former British soldier arrested by Taliban while trying to evacuate Afghans. Now, here's another headline, and it says Meghan Markle shown dying in a car crash like Princess Diana in new Lifetime movie. So they are showing this programming of Meghan dying, and we've seen this programming because her and Harry got away from the royals because I guess even Harry was saying that the same forces that came after his mother are after Meghan as well. There's also another article, and it says now a leaked memo on the Queen's death. They are preparing for the Queen's death. So what does this all really mean? Because we see the fall of America. So this is the fall of America and Britain, America and its allies. I believe this is like a domino effect, piece by piece, because it is a chess game, right? It's all planned out. And they say that London could be stretched to a breaking point as people flood the city. Notice the word flood, as a lot of this flooding is seen all over the world. And we recently seen it in New York. We've also seen the programming from Australia, and it's going back and forth, guys, back and forth. So Australia beat the world on shutting out COVID. Now it is bitterly divided on how to reopen. They're showing hundreds and hundreds of people getting their shots, and this is all about complying to the New World Order. And from here, their headline are focusing on Florida for some reason. They were talking about Australia cases rising and Florida record deaths. They're giving an update. So they're talking about Australia's cases rising. Of course, they're rising because they're testing everyone, giving them vaccinations and everything. And then they're talking about Florida, and I see the downfall of Florida. So we see the things in Florida with the schools, the mask bans. They're trying to get this divide and conquer to manifest. They're getting people to revolt. More Florida schools revolt against DeSantis mask ban. So Florida school mask debate headed for appeals in court battles. They're also saying that Florida will issue 5K fines, $5,000 fines, each time a school, business asks for proof of COVID vaccine. And we see this headline that says Biden administration prepares for a reasonable likelihood of another serious pandemic. And I was thinking another one. I mean, what else can they be programming here? What could be worse? Zombies? And what do you know? There's a headline that says, "It's time to put right-wing zombie death cult on trial." Huh. And they had to direct it to the right-wing zombies death cult? Huh. And then I saw another headline that says CDC advisors raise concerns about over-vaccination and ask the White House for more data to show boosters are needed. So now they're saying, are we over-vaccinating people? Are we perhaps giving them too much vaccinations? Come on now. What is this? And this is why people are getting fed up. This is why you're going to start hearing a lot of things and more programming against the children. So I'm going to go through these headlines, and it says, Judge blocks Tennessee governor's order allowing students to opt out of mask mandates. So of course, they're going to push harder on the masks because a lot of people didn't rise up against it as they are the vaccines. So this headline says, Raise hell. Parents are fighting back against the schools. You see a dad trio arrested after they threatened supposedly the principal, and guess because the school ordered a student to quarantine because he came in contact with someone with COVID, then his dad and two other men confronted the principal and whatnot. That school went straight to lockdown after that happened. They're gonna create boogeymans here. That's what they're doing. They're creating boogeymans. They're gonna go after people, and they're gonna do it in strategic ways like this. They're gonna wait for certain people to step up. So from this Afghanistan ordeal, they're moving to a new chapter. So we see a lot of programming with terrorist attacks. They're gonna program these false flags. A lot of things. I believe September 18th, there's gonna be a rally for those who were targeted from the Capitol riot. So we see targeted individuals, we see people under attack. This is part of the switch as well, the betrayal, because we also see, remember this guy from the Capitol riot, Q Sherman? He felt betrayed because Trump did not pardon him, and so he pleaded guilty. We also see a lawyer went missing who was working on a case with 17 people from that riot, and then they found out he supposedly had COVID and he's on a ventilator. The funny thing about that is they mixed the story one with another. So I'm pretty sure they did something to him, because I also saw another headline where a Florida radio host who criticized Dr. Fauci and the pandemic, they say he died of COVID-19. They probably killed him too. Now we see this programming with Texas and what we saw with Hurricane Ida, the blackouts. Those people, the 800,000 people without power, now they're trying to say food shortages are coming. Power outages, then food shortages. And I'm thinking, they keep talking about this Green New Deal, but Texas also has its own power grid. And so they keep talking about these cyber attacks and how these hackers are already inside the network and they can shut off everything. But there's a delay because they're working on how do they shut off Texas power and the United States, because if you shut off the power for the United States, you still have Texas. You can't have one without the other because that's a whole big piece. So we see everything with the abortions, the gun laws. So I'm thinking this is going to be a dark winter. There was already a headline that says warmer Arctic led to killer cold in Texas, much of US. They're talking about it as if winter's here already, and the programming is being manifested. This is going to be the Texas warning number 2. So we see other headlines. Biden's plan to join UN's global gun registration treaty. Imagine that. And here it is. My last video, I said this was all gonna manifest. And so it does. And this headline, it says, CDC needs to leave guns alone, stick to diseases. Oh, okay now. So the CDC want to put their nose into this gun debate. Wow. So now it's making sense because we exposed it from the last video in that programming, and they're going to continue the programming, but they got to diverse it into many aspects. A lot of agendas, folks. Also, we have here Wall Street posted an article, US gun sales reach 400 million. So, well, thanks for the update, Wall Street. I wonder why you're putting up articles about that around this time as well. Now with this whole Texas abortion restrictions, Republican-controlled states may follow suit. So we're going to have a dominoes effect because this is also regarding to the kids as well. We see many headlines now coming out, such as this one. Texas elementary school requires police security after anti-maskers harass student. Interesting. So a lot of things regarding Texas. So I believe they're going to try to shut their power off, increase food shortages, and so forth. They even had a cartoon posted for the month of September. It says Texas GOP bookstore, and it says how to, gardening, cooking, and then there's a poster that says The Handmaid's Tale. Texas, how to. We see gardening, cooking. I'm thinking food shortage. Texas, food shortage. And then we have the programming of The Handmaid's Tale. They posted it on a cartoon gallery from the USA Today network. So they're showing this program in here. I saw this after I put together that they were going to try to take out the power in Texas, increase this food shortage, and then I found this picture and I was like, wow, I'm seeing so much things here, folks. So much things. It's all connecting. Because with this, they also want to push this narrative of climate change, the Green New Deal. So we're going to see a lot of stuff with population control, the programming, because in this headline it says, we are moving into uncharted territory with climate change. And they know it. They're going to have to push people to the very edge. And this other headline, it says, China Premier urges major powers to take responsibility for environment. Take responsibility for environment. More to this climate change narrative and programming. So with this population control, tracking and tracing, and then we have the smart cities.